What's going on, y'all? What's going on, YouTube? Hopefully my hair doesn't look too trashy, but it's your boy GZTV. Man, I gotta get this shit cut or figure out how to style it or something, bro. I'm getting shaggy as a bitch, and I didn't get my hair cut this weekend, and I don't like getting it out of town. So, it's GZTV. I'm sorry if the camera looks kind of weird in my setup. I kind of had to make a little makeshift shit, so it's probably gonna look like that for the Squid Game video too. I don't know why this is pointed. That actually looks a lot better. Okay, GZTV, we are back. The basketball guy, on YouTube. We're here to talk about NBA and March Madness action. Obviously, the Elite Eight wrapped up today, and now a week from yesterday, we are going to be getting some Final Four action. So, obviously, this whole week will be dedicated to the NBA. And we're going to get into a couple of games here in a second. I want to talk Clippers Cavs. I want to talk Hornets Pelicans. And then we can get into that Auburn-Michigan State game. Obviously, Houston kind of handled Tennessee, which I'm pretty disappointed in with Tennessee, but it is what it is. Clippers Cavs, though. Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell propel the Cavs to a 5-point victory over the Clippers. Great scoring, for both Jared Allen and Donovan Mitchell. They hold them off. I think that was their 60th win of the season, so pretty monumental, pretty big win for the franchise. I don't know how often the Cavs in a regular season get 60 wins. It's just, even with LeBron, I don't even know, man. Max Strus even getting to the rim. They just have so many impactful players this year, so many guys that just grind, put their heads down and work for this team. It's so awesome. Great afternoon win. Great game of basketball. Obviously, Evan Mobley playing really well at the defensive end, and Donovan Mitchell being so tough offensively again and again from all three levels of the floor. I'm not going to lie, I think the Clippers actually played pretty good basketball. I mean, Ivica Zubac, 14 points, 13 rebounds. He shot 50%. You get 24 points for James Harden, who shot 33% from three. You get 34 points from Norman Powell. Now, obviously, Nick Batum's kind of a weak bench piece, and he's getting a little old, and sure, they could have gotten a little bit more out of him, but I can't be mad at this Clippers effort. That looks a little better. They are playing the one of, if not the best. You can argue that they are the best team in the NBA, so there you have it. I'll maybe give Amir Coffey more minutes. I don't know. It's just a really good Cavs team. Not much more to say. Evan Mobley had 22 points. He shot 50% overall. 25 points and 12 rebounds for Jared Allen. I mean, the efficiency is off the charts for him as a big man. 24 points, 12 rebounds as well for Donovan Mitchell. And the Cavs just came together, got the dub. Let's move on to the Hornets and the Pelicans. These are two teams that are obviously out of it, but it gave us some good basketball in the afternoon, so it's worth talking about. Jose Alvarado is a go-ahead 3-point play, and the Pelicans 4-point win over the Hornets. Yeah, man. Jose Alvarado go ahead at 3-point play on a reverse layup with 31 seconds left, and they outlast him and get the victory. Now, obviously, Yusuf Nurkic has been a really dope big man presence for the Hornets, and that's going to be interesting to see kind of develop over the next couple of years. For how bad these teams are, this was some pretty good basketball. I mean, Keon Brooks Jr. was hitting shots. You get a lot of G Leaguer, and I think this is the awesome part about at matchups like this. You get G League level, high potential players fighting it out, and I think that's a great thing. Yeah, Jose Alvarado hit some tough shots throughout the game. Nick Smith Jr. was hitting threes. Yeah, man, a lot of futures on this team. You look at the Hornets, you get 20 points for Miles Bridges, 13 points, 12 rebounds for Yusuf Nurkic as well. He shot 50% from three. He played pretty well. Again, it's just the weak starting lineup. You have Daquan Jeffries in your starting lineup. I mean, they could have tried Musa Diabate, they could have tried Wendell Moore Jr., they could have tried Nick Smith Jr., and to an extent they did kind of do that, but I guess Daquan Jeffries gets way too many minutes on this fucking team. You have really good bench players. Wendell Moore Jr. out of Duke, I remember him fairly well, so yeah, I don't know. There's some interesting situations going on. Obviously, these teams are kind of done for the year. And the Pelicans honestly didn't play good. They damn near didn't deserve to win this game. I mean, you have Kelly Olynyk and Jose Alvarado, Anthony Reeves, Jeremiah Robinson Earl, Keon Brooks Jr., Matt Kavich. Those are decent guys, but those aren't your core guys, and they're not going to play good. So, yeah, I guess it was just shit on shit, and the less shitty won the game. I don't fucking know. Getting into NCAA, again, this is what you guys are all here for, Elite Eight action. I am not talking Houston, Tennessee. Let's just get into the Michigan State and the Auburn game. We will preview the Final Four, and we will preview the next day of NBA action here in a little bit. But let's talk MSU and Auburn. Obviously, Tom Izzo went out with a fight. Auburn completes a sweep of the sweep of number 1 seeds into the Final Four. They beat Michigan State by 6. Johnny Broome held his injured right arm through most of Auburn's Elite Eight postgame celebration, and that's obviously a huge concern going into the third weekend here. It sucks. Johnny Broome, shout out to him. I mean, obviously, I'm always going to say this. I went to SIUE, and he played in our conference at Morehead State, so it's really cool to see a transfer do this. Yeah, he returned after injury, though, and he was hitting threes. Like, he was looking really good, and this is what great players are made out of, and this is what great players do, and he, no doubt, should be a pretty good player in the NBA. I see a Jabari Smith type of lineage, possibly, but as more of a big man role, because we saw Jabari Smith come through this Auburn program, and this coach has produced really good basketball players. Really good matchup here. You know, Auburn still has a spot in the Final Four. They get the win, which is awesome. Johnny Broome just bucket after bucket, celebrating, getting the crowd hyped up. Just such a momentum player. It was really awesome to see. Great ball movement, like finding Tahad Pettiford and finding all your weapons and taking advantage of that. I think Auburn did really well. And, you know, even Pettiford dishing the ball around and setting up some plays. I think this is a great team. I mean, I don't know if they're going to win the national championship. I still think that Duke has the best chance of doing that, but you look at the Michigan State Spartans first off, and I mean, really their big player this game was Jackson Kohler. He played really well, 17 points, 11 rebounds off of 75% shooting. Just some uncharacteristically bad performances from some of their players. I mean, you didn't get a great game from Simon Zapala, especially Jeremy Fears, who has a lot of potential with this team. Jeremy Fears Jr., not the greatest game in the world, and they have a good bench, like Frankie Fiddler, Cohen Carr, Trey Holloman, Carson Cooper, they have a good bench, man. They have guys, and obviously Trey Holloman played like shit, but man, and I mean, Zapala played decent and was efficient, but man, Jeremy Fears especially shooting 25% in 26 minutes. I mean, yeah, he passed the ball really well, and he was taking advantage of that, and he was decent at rebounding the ball as well, but it sucks. It stinks. But it's going to be really awesome to see Jace Richardson kind of carry this forward for the next couple of years. I think he's going to stay. I don't think he had a good enough freshman campaign. I know he was a great player, but I think he will definitely stay, and I think Michigan State should stick around in the runnings for the tournament for some years to come. And again, Jeremy Fears, he is a freshman. He is from Joliet. I heard a lot about this guy coming out of high school. Lots. So, and obviously, Cohen Carr is a sophomore. They have a lot, man. This is going to be a really good basketball program for the next couple of years. Shout out to them on their run, but man, it was all Johnny Broome. 25 points and 14 rebounds. Made both of his threes. I guess he is a three-point shooter, and I guess he is very versatile, because if you're going to play at this level, obviously you have to be able to do everything, but very fucking impressive work for Johnny Broome, and, you know, getting a block, getting a steal, just doing a little bit of everything for this team. Johnny Broome with a masterful performance. First, we are going to talk about the Final Four, and man, for the first time in, 17 years, since only the second time ever that all 4 1 seeds made the Final Four. That really says something about March Madness, and it really attests to the parity, and it attests to the competitiveness of it. But man, we got Florida versus Auburn, Houston versus Duke. I don't really know. I do think it's going to be Auburn and Duke in the national championship, if I had to guess. I think Auburn's just a better team than Florida. There are so many great players. Walter Clayton is really good, and I can't remember the white dude we talked about, but, you know, Auburn, man, Tashad Pettiford, Johnny Broome. It's just such a good team. Houston, Duke, you have Cooper Flagg, Concanupple, just such a good team. They even have Malahan, I think that was his name, who's been making waves. Houston, you have LJ Cryer, you have Jawan Roberts, you have great players, Milos Uzan. I mean, dude, it's going to be a great Final Four, and I know people want to see Cinderella stories and all that, but the best of the best have made the Final Four. All these teams have won 32-plus games on the season, so it's going to be good basketball. It's going to make for great basketball. I think both of these games are going to be extremely competitive. I got Auburn and Duke. We'll see. Looking at the NBA, though, for tomorrow's games, really the only games, I was kind of looking at it earlier, the only games I'm excited for are the TNT doubleheader. You have Celtics, Grizzlies, and Rockets, Lakers, so those should be really good. Check them out. I'm out, guys. I got to go record a Squid Game video, pack up my